order up.
Good evening, and welcome to the Reckoning Brothers Afternoon Tea podcast. I am Scott. I am here with Josh. Josh, how you doing this evening?
What's up, Scott? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm living in a world of darkness. It's
How sad
I
for you.
like to what I mean by that is I like to consume dark media, right?
Hmm.
Like I think a few good examples of this. The Road, both the Cormac McCarthy novel and the movie starring Aragorn are both fantastic. I'm thinking
Aragorn
things
is
like
in Lord of the Rings?
yes, he's in The Road, the movie adaptation of Cormac McCarthy's The Road. He's a protagonist.
I haven't heard of this one.
He
Is,
does an
is he
excellent
Strider
job.
in this, or is he
Yeah,
actually?
yeah, as in Strider, as in Aragorn.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, he is in this. He does a great job.
Drop a
I'm
link in
thinking of
that
the.
and when we publish this, because I'd like to look at that.
I shall.
Okay.
Also, the I'm thinking the movie Requiem for a Dream from the early 2000s. Fantastic movie. These two pieces of art are just dark. They're dark from the beginning to the end. They're dark. There's really little to no light at all. The whole piece of media is just feeling kind of shitty. Why do I like watching these things?
Do
Why do you
tell.
think?
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure this out.
I often wonder, like, what sick person thought of this,
I
and
wonder that too.
that's a lot of Stephen King that I run into, and you know, to be honest with you, there's one called Mr. Mercedes. Have you heard of this one?
No, I haven't.
Well, it's kind of timely because Mr. Mercedes drives a Mercedes Benz into a crowd.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we just had the thing in New Orleans. That kind of yeah. So I often wonder what person dreams these things up, and I don't like watching scary movies. And I know you're not talking about scary movies, but they always go a little bit too sadistic for me. And I don't know. What are your
I
thoughts?
think there's a difference between you're probably thinking more of like the torture porn category, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, stuff like that, which I love that movie too for different reasons. But I'm thinking just dark, just in a world of malaise, no escape, and watching people in this world and how they cope with it. And where you know from the beginning that it's just going to be a downward spiral into shit and there's no way out. Why do I want to watch it when it makes me feel like shit? Because I think it makes me feel like shit to make me feel better
About yourself?
because better about myself, better about my
Okay.
life, grateful for everything that I have. So we've talked before on this, talking with Mark before about just we have no right as Americans in 2024 living the like middle class lives we have to complain about anything. Look at people in other countries, the shit that I have to deal with, that they have to deal with. We don't have to deal with any of that. We know where our food's going to come from. We have all these basic securities that are pretty much just a given for all of us. And I think what these dark pieces of media show is like an entertaining way of seeing the shit, but for the grace of God goes I. So it's just a way to, it's gratitude. It's me watching 2 hours of gratitude. You know, I just afterwards it's like, oh my god, this is I can't complain. I can't complain about anything. Why do I have a right to complain about getting stuck in traffic? Why do I have a right to complain about
Hmm.
accidental overcharges on my fucking credit card? Why do I have a right to complain about anything? A movie like The Platform, that's the other one I was trying to think of, a
I haven't
Netflix
heard of that
original
one.
movie. A fantastic movie. And The Platform, another great movie of just dark dystopia, which if you haven't watched that is fantastic. Spanish movie, Netflix original. You're basically in a prison with levels where the too much to explain. Watch it. It's about trickle down food economics. I guess is what it's about. But very, very interesting movie to watch. But another one of those where you're just there's no brightness there. Like you'd figure a lot of these movies if you'd be explaining them to a focus group. Every focus group would be like, no, no, I don't want to watch this. I mean, think of The Road. Have you seen The Road?
No, I was thinking the road to perdition, but no. Give me the
Way different thing. So The Road is a novel by Cormac McCarthy where there's he doesn't explain how it got to this point or really a lot about the world at all, but the world is gone, just basically destroyed. Food's not growing, there's no more food, cannibalism's running rampant, and the sky is basically all grayed out, so crops aren't growing. But it's not really explained, right? In the novel or the movie. It's a man and his son, and they're making their way through this wasteland, just holding on day by day by day. There's no hope. No one's coming to save them. It's just the next day and the next day until you die. No hope of civilization coming back. No hope of food. What can you hold on to before you are dead and gone? There's no hope for you. There's no hope for his son. It is over. So it just sounds awful, and it is awful. Love the movie, love the book. And the feeling that I get, it's almost like a safe way of looking at this very uncomfortable truth. You know, that, but the snap
humanity's
of a
not
finger and
nice.
everything's gone.
That's the
What's that?
humanity's not nice. That's the
No, no, no.
uncomfortable
It's
truth.
all that shit's done.
Okay.
Civilization's done. All that's gone, right? It's just this awful landscape. There's a cannibalism scene in there that's just fucking crazy. But I like watching these things. And it really I think it's because it puts me in the frame of what you know, what would I do? What would I do? I would die. I would lie down on the fucking ground and die because I didn't have hope. And I know that. And most people in that world would do that, right? And it just makes you so grateful for the things that you have, the people you have, the food you have. I can go to my fucking fridge and eat food whenever I want, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Everybody that lives in America in 2024, I'm sorry, it's 2025 now. Fuck, dude. This is my first slip up of 2025. In 2025, we have so much, dude. We have so much unprecedented things to be grateful for that just darkness is entertainment for us. Like, I,
So
I don't know.
let me just throw this in there. You're talking about the hopelessness, the dr- draconian landscape. I'm guessing, and what comes to my mind is like zombie movies,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
Walking
Yeah.
Dead.
Zombie
I do
apocalypse.
like those.
Yeah.
Um,
It kind of the same.
the
It's
Last
kind of
of
the same thing.
Us,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
that
Last of Us is
seems
one of the best video games ever made. It's a true triumph. Yeah.
the show is great.
The show was
It's
great too.
desperation is kind of
Yeah.
a theme there.
That's the good word. That's a good word. Desperation. It's just it's a safe way of looking at desperation, you know. And you think, what would you do? What would you do? You know. Remember zombie contingency plans? Do you remember that being a thing? I'm
I,
sure you and I have talked about
I
that
got
years ago. That was all the rage like 15 years ago. Remember
I got a book in my library over here. It's a zombie survival guide.
the Max Brooks book?
I don't know what it was, but I
Yeah,
bought it
Max
as a
Brooks.
joke.
You know he's Mel Brooks' son.
No, no.
Yeah, so Max Brooks is the author of that. He's he's Mel Brooks' son, and he also wrote World War Z, which is fantastic.
World War Z
But
was
World War Z is
wonderful.
amazing. Well,
Yes.
World War Z also is not dark. World War Z is interesting and fun, but it's not dark. It's not one of those true.
It was a
like
happy
dark
ending.
zombie worlds. It had a happy ending.
Yeah.
I mean, even well, I don't know, man. So like 28 days later. All right, I would almost put that in that same category of movie as the dark, the road and that kind of stuff. It's very dark. There's not a whole lot of hope, but it ends up being happy at the end. But it's still, if I'm thinking, oh, I'm the guy in that movie, I still feel that same kind of sense of dread and like it's all over
Right. So
that I wouldn't get from World War Z.
a lot of what you're talking about is movies that bother the hell out of me. And it's you
Yeah.
get to the end of it and there's no resolution. It's just
Yeah.
a sudden cliffhanger drop. There's no chance of a second motion picture. It it drives my OCD nuts. And you're saying that these dark films are exactly what you want.
Yes. Yes. I'm saying they're exactly what I want because it puts me in the mindset of hopelessness that I don't feel in my normal day-to-day life because I'm an American in 2025, right? And I'm so blessed with my life and I don't deserve the great life that I have. I don't. I know this every day. I try to tell myself this every single day
That's
that
a
I
good
don't
thing to say to
deserve.
yourself, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it
it
is a good thing
also
I
is a
think.
bad thing because you could say, I have earned this. I have worked for this. I
I've
think
worked
it's
for
a
some things, but not everything. Most of what all of us have as 2025 Americans is from what dead people have done, right? People who fought in World War II, things like that, right? That have given us the lifestyle that we have, and to technological breakthroughs and stuff like that. We didn't do anything to earn the smartphone, right? We're we're just recipients of things that have happened. We're just fortunate, random, luck of the dice type of people, all of us. And if you
to be
also
born in
like,
America.
I was born in America. Yes,
No,
I'm
I
an
mean luck
American.
of the dice is to be born in America.
To be born in America. Oh, I thought you were going to call me not an American. I was like, I'm going to get on a plane, fly over there, and beat your motherfucking ass.
Bring it on. I'd
Ever
love to see
accuse
you.
me of not being the most red, white, and blue motherfucker ever?
No,
Jesus.
you're born
Yeah,
in America. It's the luck of the dice.
exactly, exactly. It's complete luck to be the top. Like, what is it? 0.1% of all human beings that have ever existed, just to be born here, right?
Yeah.
Everything that we have, and I think just getting back to where I started, I think dark media is popular and enjoyable because of that. Because at some level, we know we didn't do anything to deserve the fortunes that we have. Right? Yeah, like you said, we may have done things to earn things in our life. I'm not trying to belittle that. To when you put effort, like you're overweight and you exercise and you diet and you lose a bunch of fat and gain a bunch of muscle. Congratulations, you did all that yourself. I think you should feel super fucking proud, right? But you're also born in 2025 America where the problems that you have, you know, they're not really big. Granted, there's caveats to that. You could be born in an abusive household or something like that, right? That still happens.
Let's
That's a
let.
very real thing. I don't
I'm
want to
going to interrupt
belittle it.
you here. Let's revisit because we talked about trade offs.
Yep.
So what's the trade off for being born in America?
Okay. I'm not prepared for this question. Here's what's off the top of
Sorry.
my head. No, 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 no. This is good. This is very good. Other societies have strong bonds to people around them in their communities. They have like a tribal bond, a community bond. As Americans, at least in Los Angeles where I live, I don't think that's very strong. We don't know. I mean, I'm lucky. This particular place I've moved to, I know my neighbors, which is great. Most people in Los Angeles can't say that probably, but the strong community ties. We don't really have that so much. We don't go do things together as a community so much, right? Like, I remember when I lived in a small town in Ohio when I was in like the fourth grade. There was a flood, right? So the whole town went down to the river that went through here, and everybody got sandbags. And like a town event was getting sandbags and putting them up against this river to prevent flooding, to try to save. Like there was like a local. It was like a small little grocery store slash video rental store that was right like near the river, for instance. So people would just kind of, go and they'd get
Hmm.
sandbags out and they would just try to stack them as high as they could to
Yeah.
hopefully prevent this place from flooding. And I remember that I think, if you're from another country or another time, you'd probably have those moments, which would really cement those bonds in. That's I don't think we have because we have it too easy. We just have it too. It's unless you have problems, you don't build bonds like that. It's a trade off.
Yeah. So you say unless you have problems, you don't really come together, and that's really true. What I thought about that immediately is the only time I talk to my neighbors is when the power's out or there's snow that needs shoveled,
Yeah.
or I want to
Or
complain about somebody down the street. So yeah,
yeah,
that's an interesting aspect of it. But
gossip brings people together too.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But
But we talked about, and I'm going to get back to it. And I'm going to press you on an answer for this. We talked about trade offs, and nothing in the world is free. You can't do anything that doesn't have a trade off. But when we're born in this country, what is the trade off for it? Is it the lives of our forefathers?
it kind of is, right? Because we're still products of what happened before,
Yeah.
right? We're still just people. We're a cell in the body that is the
But
world.
is it a personal trade off? Does it have to be a personal trade off? Going back to our conversation before, which I found fascinating. But does it have to be that way?
I don't think I don't think it's like everything is like a trade-off and there's like an equal you have to give an equal amount of suffering to gain an equal amount of joy necessarily. I just think general when I brought that up, I was thinking as far trade-offs as far as like making a policy decision, right? Like when you're at
Yeah.
higher level policy decisions, you someone's got to win, someone's got to lose, and you're just kind of trading things off. It's not an exact science, right? Like, but you
But you
have to
had you
understand
had
that.
me really thinking about that, and everything I do, every aspect of my life, there is a trade off.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's a 50-50 exact trade-off too. And doesn't mean everything's like there's no trade-off for me to be being a 2025 American. That's just luck. I'm just born at a certain level, right? That's just better and easier by every metric than being born, on the year like 2000 AD in the savannah somewhere. That's just a luck of the draw thing.
Yeah,
There's not really like a trade off, but when I have to make a decision, chances are there's going to be a trade off, right? I'm going to lose something by not doing this or like win something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure. I don't
But
know. We've gone round the bend again.
we've gone
We
totally around the
we
bend
tend to
again.
do that. Our
That's what we
conversations
do.
start here, and then they go whoop, and then they whoop whoop whoop. Okay.
That's
Anyway,
what we do, dude.
yeah,
That's what
that's
we do.
yeah.
But yeah, I think you should watch The Road. I think you'll
The
like it,
road.
even though it's going to be super dark and depressing.
Is it got an abrupt ending that's gonna make me mad?
Yes, you're going to be super
Then I'm
upset.
not watching it.
No, 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 I don't accept that. You should watch it.
Okay, send me
We
a
live
link.
in a world of trade-offs, Josh.
Okay.
To enjoy the movie, you're going to have to be upset by the ending.
I really do like the aspect of you saying, the way that you like the movies is to balance to your life, and I think that's an interesting aspect. And I never really thought about it that way, and maybe that's leave some room for some extra. So we'll see.
We'll see. It's just I wish people would open their mind more to the fact that there's The monster, the evilness in the world is inside of you. You know the whole phrase, the line between good and evil cuts between every man? It really does. The monster's in you, the evil's in you. I forget who it was that said, don't picture yourself as the German during World War II hiding in Frank in your attic. Picture yourself as the SS guard. Chances are
Why?
that's who you'd be. Because more people were going with the flow and doing evil shit than were hiding Jews in their
Okay,
attic.
I got you.
Just entertain the fact that the shittiness, the evil, the good, the bad, all of that is within your soul, right? If it isn't, then what's the point of struggle,
Maintaining moral
decision,
character?
maintaining moral character, any of that? It has to be within you for any of that to be
Right.
relevant, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, that's just me, and I'm just a little drunk.
All right.
So, Josh, thank you for entertaining me with this round of back and forth. I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah. Good session.